Hi guys, welcome to a new video where it's basically gonna be what if civilization started over on a different planet. So let's just go ahead and get started because I gotta go somewhere soon. So a species is gonna pop up on this planet, and I'm gonna name the planet Xyroxy, and they have a similar form of humans, but it's not humans. They're called Xyroxians. And so the Xyroxians are mainly going to start appearing up here. So they're going to just start expanding out. They're just going to start expanding out. They're going to really follow the coast for a while, but they're going to slightly push in a bit, and they're going to go some farmland for a bit, and then they're going to decide to move up north a bit. And as they move up north, they're going to stop at this river because they don't really have the technology to cross the rivers yet. So they're just going to keep advancing. And as soon as they get here, they're going to run into a few problems. Wild animals. Now, this area right here is equivalent to the real-life Amazon jungle. So, since it's the Amazon jungle, it's kind of hard to move in. So, they don't really expand their territory much. But there is a group of people who have adapted to this region. And they're like, we don't want to be a part of a weak nation. But instead of rebelling, they are gonna overthrow the leader, and eventually they're gonna teach everybody what they know, and they know how to swim. So they get to this island by swimming, which is pretty close. And so they're just gonna keep advancing, right? And as they're advancing, they run into even more problems. Trees blocking the way. So they decide to stop going down south for a bit, instead go north into this big place. So they're going to cross the river for the first time. And as they're crossing the river, they start building bows and arrows and spears. And eventually they're going to overstretch because they're taking land from people who already lived there. And they're looking pretty big. But they try to make peace with the natives, and that doesn't really go too well. But as they're making peace with the natives, a native guy kills an important soldier chief, and then it starts a massive revolution. And so the green team's going to start rebelling and pushing into the red team. But red team, they can't really stop it. They don't know what to do because green team, they know the area more. And red team, they literally just got there. For red team, they have a big army. But unfortunately, the red team, since they don't know the land, they're gonna get many of their troops encircled. And that's a bad thing when you get your troops encircled. And as they're getting encircled, some troops escape out. But we'll focus on that part later. And green team, they're just gonna keep going on. And eventually, they're gonna make a peace treaty where green team takes all the land that the red has gained above this river. So now there's two teams. But the thing about it is, as you remember, there were some teams that moved up here. So they are going to form a new nation right above this river. And I'm going to call it the purple team. So the purple team, they're going to start forming a life around this river. They farm on it, they do anything. And if it dries out, they're done. But as you know, it will never dry out because the water source here is massive. I mean, just look at this map. So they are going to eventually cross the river. But they know that the green team is somewhere down here, so they're going to stop advancing south and instead just focusing on beefing themselves up. So they are just going to keep expanding, and eventually they are going to get in the way of green team. Now, this won't spark a war. It will just cause some tension among the border. And among that border, a soldier has decided, I don't like the purple people, which used to be red people. So he's going to shoot one, and they're going to spark another war. So purple team is going to declare war and start advancing through the green team. And the green team, they weren't really expecting war, so they weren't quite prepared yet. And they're just going to keep advancing until green team sends reinforcements from the river border up here. And they are going to start pushing back a little. And the thing is, the green team is scared. What if they lose all their territory? So they decide to move out to some islands out here just in case. So if the purple team comes, they can heavily defend that island. So that green team is going to start slithering up here, and they're going to reach the river, which is like a natural defense, so they can't get all the way up north. So eventually they are gonna remove. So eventually they're gonna get across the river, and then purple team has no coast, which means, cause then red team was sending troops and weapons to supply the purple team from the shore, but now it's over. So green team, they're just gonna keep advancing through purple team until purple team calls red team, and red team figures out this island here where they can just island hop. So they go like that. So they go like that, and yes, as they're island hopping, they're colonizing these islands. So they're gonna go like that, and then they're gonna land here and move in to support the pink team. So the pink team, they're gonna get extra support from red team, but red team doesn't indirectly join the war because they don't want to fight against people who know the land better. So eventually, pink team's gonna retake the river, and they are gonna pretty much have a stalemate about right where the original border was. And then later they have a peace treaty. So the peace treaty shows that green team takes a tiny bit of the river, and now they have to share it. And then green team is just gonna take a tiny bit more land, and they're even gonna take this part of the river. So purple team lost a bit of land here, so they're just gonna keep expanding. But then as they're expanding, they're gonna run into a little bit desert here. So they're gonna try to move through the desert, but many people die, so they're just gonna go back. And instead, they're gonna keep following the shore and find this lake. They're gonna name it Lake Rocktita. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making up these names. Remind me in the comments. And they're just gonna stop expanding because they don't want to end up like the red team back there. So as that's happening, let's go back to the red team. The red team, they're going to try to start advancing down south, and they're going to run into this river. So they are going to set up on this river, and they're just going to keep following the river until they get to this lake right here. And this lake is pretty important for them. They like the lake, so they're going to move around the river a bit. They're going to stay like this, though. But mainly, they want to take control of the entire river. So they're going to do that. And then, so red team's looking pretty big, so is green. Well, green's looking a bit mid, same thing with purple, but red team's the biggest nation here. So the thing is, a bit of green explorers decide to go out to see if they can find some islands, and they do, but so do purple. So green and purple are going to make a little treaty where they split this island right here in half. So as they're splitting the island in half, they have to draw a clear line border. So they mark it with a stick and just put like dotted lines in the sand. And green team, they can't really move anything else but start island hopping, so they're gonna do a bit colonization. They're gonna island hop down south, and they are gonna find some land here. Now they don't know that red team's also on the continent. They just think it's like another island, so they're gonna start advancing down, killing some natives, stealing their stuff, just like the Spanish did. Would you look at that? And so yeah. So they're going to get all that. So I'm probably going to end the episode off here. I know it was pretty short, but I got to go somewhere, like I said. So